Welcome to today's episode of Football Scientific with me, Aaron Sauter. I'm a writer for the UFL News Hub and the CFL News Hub. I cover the San Antonio Brahmas of the UFL. I cover the Hamilton Tirecast and the CFL. I cover the IFL, the Indoor Football League, the NAL, the National Arena League, and the ELF, the European League of Football. Football Scientific, I also cover the NFL and the comings and goings of all the teams at all levels of pro football, really, okay? So, today, I am joined by my guest host, Wolfie D. Wolfie D in the house! We are back again! It has already been a crazy start of the weekend of football. Last night, Carolina Cobras traveled to Idaho Horsemen. Tonight, I'm a little late tonight because I was watching the Tulsa game, Tulsa Oilers of the IFL against the Green Bay Blizzard. They're in overtime right now. I had to pull away there and get the video made, so I'm going to go watch that game on Game Pass after I get done. That was an awesome game. Shootout, 68-68, crazy times. That's a crazy game. Also, Birmingham and Arlington are playing right now in the UFL. Arlington was up 9-0 at halftime, and they're up 9-6 or 9-3 right now. I forget. I've been watching the IFL game. But we're going to go through the football news real quick and make sure we covered it. Tomorrow, I will have on UFL News Hub a preview of the Brahmas approaching their game against the Michigan Panthers at noon on Sunday. And we'll also have a write-up about the newest players to be signed by the Hamilton Tirecats and the CFL. Okay, so that will be on UFL News Hub tomorrow morning and CFL News Hub tomorrow morning as well. Okay, boom. First game we're going to talk about last night in the NAL. Carolina Cobras, who were 2-2, traveled to Idaho Horsemen, who were 1-2. Carolina's been all over the place recently. They started off good. They beat the Wheeling Miners. They lost to Columbus. They came back and beat Columbus. They lost the Wheeling Miners. So what are they really? I don't know. They're a team that's played 3 quarterbacks in 5 games so far. That's crazy for a team that's supposed to be good in the league. 3 quarterbacks in 5 games? Come on. And it's not getting better for them. I'm trying to push for the Carolina Cobras, okay? In the past, they've been a good team. I'm trying to push for them. But they're not doing me any favors. I keep losing games because I keep picking the Carolina Cobras, and they're so inconsistent. They keep messing it up. Okay, so first, that game, as you can tell from my tone, I lost that pick. I had picked the Carolina Cobras to beat the Idaho Horsemen by a significant amount. Instead, Idaho Horsemen come out and play ball. They played some football. They played a lot better. They played the best game I've seen Idaho play. They played better than they did against Shreveport Ruger last week. And they won that game 50-40. But they won this game against Carolina Cobras last night 34-21. Okay? That puts Idaho Horsemen at 2-2. That puts the Carolina Cobras at 2-3. Okay? Now that American Conference with the Cobras and the Columbus Lions and Shreveport and Beaumont, that's a mess over there, man, right now. Columbus would be in first place right now by default, okay, by default. All right, what was the deal? Well, Idaho Horsemen came out and played some offense. Quarterback Caleb Lowe threw 12 completions on 18 attempts, 132 yards, 4 touchdown passes. That's pretty good. Giovanni Sanders came in, and he was 4 for 13. Not as good. 1 touchdown, though. 1 interception as well. He had 4 runs, 27 yards. They had several contributors on the run game. Cam Cole, second, came in 27 yards. Receivers all over the place, making plays. The empty set offense they run looked really good against Carolina. Okay, Carolina came out and they pooped the bed. They pooped the bed hard. Okay, there's no other way to put it. They're the better team, I think. They got a lot of good things going on, but they released one of their best running backs during the week. And I was expecting James Summers to start this game. He was nowhere to be seen. Maybe he didn't make the trip to Idaho. It's hard to say in the NAL. This league is very volatile. So, quarterback for Carolina Cobras was Dominic Schaffner. Never heard of him. He went 10 for 24, threw no touchdowns and 3 interceptions. He did run the ball 13 times and 46 yards and 2 touchdowns, but 3 interceptions, no touchdowns. That's not going to work in the NAL, okay, against any team. If you're going to come out and not throw touchdowns and go interceptions, you don't belong in this league. Dominic Schaffner played real bad, okay? Fullback Caleb Lowe, he's listed as defensive lineman. He had 11 carries, 30 yards. They tried to power run the ball. They just couldn't produce any explosive plays. Dominic Schaffner, he ran the ball a few times, but throwing the ball was horrible. if that's going to be their quarterback the rest of the way, which I doubt it is. I think they're probably going to break the record for most quarterbacks in the NAL season, it looks like. They're going to need to replace that guy real quick. Otherwise, they're going to lose a lot more games. Just saying, I'm going to quit picking Carolina. It's just not been good for me, man. They lost 34-21. Disappointing loss. Started me off 0-1 in NAL. There's still 3 games left. Yes, I said 3 games. I mentioned on Wednesday, when I went to my prediction in NAL, there was only going to be 3 games, but then one was added. One was added. That's the nature of this NAL. So what was added? The Shreveport Rougarou are hosting the Louisville Savage. Kept from Texas. This is a non-league game. I'm still going to pick it. Louisville Savage, I looked them up. Last thing they had was on Facebook in 2016. This is a semi-pro team, but it's like an IFA team. It's pretty low on the list, okay? But I got Shreveport winning that game 50-20. That was tomorrow night, and it's at 8 p.m. And it's going to be on YouTube. It might be interesting to watch for a few minutes, and it will be real interesting if Shreveport doesn't play well. I think Shreveport will come out and run the ball and beat the Louisville Savage. They need to. They need to represent the NAL, okay? You can't be losing to semi-pro teams like the Omaha Beef did. Okay, all right. In preparation of that, the Shreveport Rougarou. Did we make our prediction, OPD? I don't know. We predicted that Shreveport Rougarou will win 50-20. Rougarou, 50-20. Yeah, 50-20. They should win by a lot. We'll see, though. In preparation for that game, Shreveport Rougarou have signed receiver Tyron Laughinghouse and have released wide receiver Thierry Jones, okay? The Beaumont Renegades, they're playing Omaha Beef on Sunday. Probably the biggest game in the NAL so far, other than Columbus versus Carolina, back-to-back weeks, okay? This is going to tell us a lot about Beaumont. They signed wide receiver Malik Jones because they had to put wide receiver Colin Jackson onto the IR list. He's going to be out for 2 weeks, 14 days on that short-term IR list. The Omaha Beef, they released offensive lineman Jacob Vasquez. They signed quarterback Lorenzo Brown, who had been their quarterback before. He's also, a longtime player in the Sioux Falls Storm in the IFL and a little bit of the NAL. He's been around. He's a veteran. They're trying to fix that offense. Brandon, Negrin or whatever, he's trying to come in and get that thing fixed and get it going. They needed to beat the Beaumont Renegades. They just fired the head coach for going 3-0. You can't go 0-1 after they get a guy fired. But Beaumont, they're a mystery. They're 1-0. Who knows what's going to happen? That's going to be a cool game to watch. And then tomorrow night, Colorado Spartans, they play against the Las Vegas Kings in the IFA. Another team's hard to find information on. They're a semi-pro-ish team. Colorado Spartans, in preparation of that, signed wide receiver Alexis Rosario, and they signed Myron Mounds. Okay, so we'll see how it looks. I'm expecting to go 3-0 the rest of the NAL week. Boom, I picked Omaha to win that game against Beaumont. So we'll see if they can uphold around. I can't imagine them going 0-1 after firing the head coach and bringing a new guy in. I just can't imagine that. It's crazy. Okay, and the UFL, like I said, UFL right now, third quarter, last I checked, before I started the video, Arlington Renegades were leading the Birmingham Stallions in Birmingham Stallions home opener. It looked like Birmingham was coming back. I'm going to go back and watch the rest of that game once I get done with the video, okay? But there was some activity in the UFL leading into this weekend's games. Memphis Showboats put defensive tackle John Atkins on the IR list. That's a 5-week IR list minimum. He's out. He's going to hurt the Memphis Showboats. He's a really good defensive lineman for them. St. Louis Battlehawk cut wide receiver Sam Wigloos, okay? People think they're going to bring back the Joe Cap guy, and they're just cutting Sam Wigloos to make room for Cap, okay? St. Louis Battlehawks also signed quarterback Trey Self. That's because their emergency quarterback, Shaven Cordero, is injured. He's on the injured list now, out minimum 5 weeks. So they brought in Trey Self to be their emergency quarterback. Remember, I'll be putting a San Antonio Brahmas versus Michigan Panthers preview in the focus of the I focused on the San Antonio Brahmas in that article. That'll be available tomorrow morning on UFL News, so check it out, okay? Boom. In the IFL, like I said, Tulsa and Green Bay, when I last looked, were in overtime, 68-68, a score fest, crazy. Before this game, Tulsa Oilers signed a new kicker, Rio Ramirez. He had been a kicker for the Frisco Fighters, so Tulsa Fighters continues to be built. But he had an inconsistent night tonight. The reason that game's in overtime because Rio Ramirez missed some field goals. Okay, so missed some kicks. So I mean, they brought a new guy in, but he's off the street and he's not playing as well as they'd hoped. And it's putting them in a spot. They may lose to Green Bay. That'd be an upset. So I picked Tulsa. I'm hoping Tulsa pulled it out. It's probably done by now. I'll check it out on Game Pass. Tomorrow, the Fishers Freight play the Massachusetts Pirates. Should be a big game. Fishers Freight made a bunch of moves. They put offensive lineman Jortarian Spicer on short-term IR, 14-day IR. They activated offensive lineman Noah Buttliger, okay, I don't want to say Buttliger, that's gross, okay, Buttligan maybe, okay. They moved to IR defensive lineman Tyler Wallace, and they activated defensive back Sean Steele, and then they moved to short-term IR wide receiver Julian Wakes. So they have a lot of movement of players on and off the IR. They're feeling the abuse of the IFL, okay. Next, Jacksonville Sharks still feeling the abuse too. They released wide receiver Vance Bennett. They signed kicker Christian Bartley. They released kicker Carson Hancock, and they activated off the IR linebacker Ja'Cory Johnson. They're going to need to come out and play some good football. They have a tough game this week. Okay, Massachusetts Pirates. They activated defensive lineman Ifani Majay. They traded quarterback Aeneas Dennis. That's their back quarterback. He got traded earlier this week. They moved to the IR, Voshan Joseph, and they signed kicker Joshua Gable. They're trying to get more consistent, trying to improve. Okay, Fishers Freight are playing them tomorrow, and that's going to be a tough game. I guess the Pirates are trying to make sure they can get better. Tucson Sugar Skulls, probably the worst team in the league right now. They're going to play against the Jacksonville Sharks, and they're a mess all over the place right now. They're 0-1, but they're a mess right now. They released quarterback Jordan Ambrose. They moved to short-term IR, 14-day IR, wide receiver Brian Smith. They activated from the IR wide receiver Lorenzo Thompson, and they signed wide receiver Alfonso Taylor. They signed quarterback Iman Caldwell. So they released quarterback Jordan Ambrose and signed quarterback Iman Caldwell. Okay, got it. Next, we'll see if they can come and get a win. Hopefully not. Go Jacksonville in that game. Arizona Rattlers, they released wide receiver Warren Thompson Jr. and released wide receiver Elijah Lilly. Most likely they were brought on to help fill in, and they're wrong you needed. Quad City Steamwheelers traded wide receiver Davion Corliff. Okay, so let's see if that bothers them. They're probably just freeing up some roster space to improve. Okay, got early in the season IFL, there's a lot of fluctuation of rosters, just like this NAL. Not quite as much as the NAL. The NAL is exceptionally volatile in my mind. Okay, then NFL news. Way more stable. Ohio State offensive tackle Josh Simmons. He visited the Colts on Thursday. He's going to visit that was yesterday. Visit Kansas City Chiefs Friday. That's today. Cleveland Browns quarterback Joe Flacco is returning to the Cleveland Browns for a one-year contract, $4 million. So now they have Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, and Deshaun Watson on their staff. Are they going to pick Shedeur Sanders? They might. I've been saying that they might pick Shedeur Sanders. They're trying to get Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders if they can get him. Flacco was the comeback player of the year with the Browns in 2023. Okay, they could still be in play for Kirk Cousins after the draft. Now, Kirk Cousins is not going to make a decision on his no trade clause until after the draft, which is really inconvenient for everyone, including Kirk Cousins. The Falcons are trying to find something that will pay him the rest of that contract. They don't want to pay him the rest of the contract. Okay, next, LA Chargers wide receiver Quentin Johnston. Okay, they're saying he's trade bait. He's some trade bait for the draft. They would like to move him. They would like to use him to move up or whatever and get a better position to get what they want in the draft. I suspect a tight end. All right, New Orleans Saints. New Orleans Saints, the players feel like if Derek Carr can play, he can take them to the playoffs. So it's good they have confidence in their quarterback. Las Vegas Raiders, they're the favorite now to draft Colorado quarterback Shedeur Sanders. The only way that won't happen is if he gets picked before them at number 6. I've heard they want Ashton Jeanty. So now we're getting to the time of year where who do they really want? Are they saying they want Shadur Sanders because they want Ashton Jeanty? Teams are saying they want Ashton Jeanty, but saying they're willing to move up. So now we're getting to the chess party. You really can't trust what teams are saying the rest of the way here with regards to the draft, okay? Atlanta Falcons, we're going to bring back former quarterback Matt Ryan back to them to be a mentor to Michael Penix Jr. That is really going to push Kirk Cousins out the door. Matt Ryan will take that spot as being the backup quarterback. I think Kirk Cousins is going to get dealt, but he has to waive the no trade clause first unless they just release him. If they release him, they have to pay him a lot more money. It really takes a huge hit on their salary cap. If they release him, they're not going to release him. That would be disastrous for them. Okay. All right. Houston Texans. Safety Jalen Petrie got a 3-year extension for $39 million. Is guaranteed for $29.156 million. That's a nice chunky change. Okay. Washington Commanders have been listening to the show. You can tell the Washington Commanders, I mentioned the Washington Commanders need to pick a running back. The running backs in this draft are very good. For the first time, the Washington Commanders said they're admitting they need to pick up a dynamic running back. That's all they're missing for their offense. They got the receivers, they got the linemen, they got the quarterback, they got the tight end and Zach Ertz. They just need a powerful running back. They need a dynamic running back. Dynamic meaning to them, he can catch the ball, pass, block, and run the ball. The leading candidate that can do all those things well is Amarion Hampton from North Carolina. He is projected to still be available late in the draft when the Commanders can pick him. So I think they're going to pick up Amarion Hampton. But if Ashton Jeanty's still there, I can see them picking him up. Okay, I think he'd be a good power back for them. And if both those guys are gone, which shouldn't be the case, I believe Hampton will be picked up, will be available still. Cam Scattermoo. No one's mentioned Cam Scattermoo, but he runs like Mike Alstott. And I think back to the Washington Redskins teams when they won the Super Bowl, and they had a really powerful running back in John Riggins. And Scattermoo could really be a John Riggins type. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we're looking at there. All right. So Las Vegas Raiders, they could move quarterback Aiden O'Connell. He's going to be their third stringer. He's trade bait. They're offering him up to kind of move him along and say, hey, we want to get rid of him. If you want something, give us something for him, okay? Next, Seattle Seahawks signed quarterback Drew Lock for a second stint. They liked him. He'll be their backup quarterback for the Seattle Seahawks, okay? Chicago Bears, they want to draft running back Ashton Jeanty, and they could trade up. And that could be, where you see the Bears give something up to the Browns, okay? So if the Browns, they give to the Browns, they could move up to pick up Ashton Jeanty. That would give the Browns 2 picks, and that would allow them to pick up Travis Hunter and Shadur Sanders if they get the right deal there. That is a potential deal. If the Bears get Ashton Jeanty, they're going to be dangerous. They got the O-line, they got some good receivers, they got a good quarterback. The defense isn't all that, but they're working on getting better D linemen, so they could be dangerous this year. Boom. New Orleans Saints quarterback. So the team thinks Derek Carr can lead them to the playoffs and beyond, but he's not sure. And the Ducks are not sure. He had a shoulder injury last year. Shoulder injury, ow. And if you think back, do you really want to risk Derek Carr's long-term future? Does he have a long-term future with the Saints? If you think about it, does he have a long-term future with the Saints? I don't know. I don't think anyone knows. You don't know. Unless you're a Saints fan, you really don't know if Derek Carr has a future with them. Okay? They have that shoulder injury. If he's going to be available in 2025, it's in question. So if he sits out a year, maybe he'll lead into the playoffs next year. Or maybe they'll draft a quarterback. Jackson Dart is laying out there. Arizona Cardinals quarterback Tyler Huntley did a tryout with a team. He had been the backup quarterback for the Ravens. He's very Lamar Jackson-esque. Not Lamar Jackson, but Lamar Jackson-esque. Okay, he can run a little bit, that's what I mean. Atlanta Falcons signed quarterback Kevin King. Okay, Denver Broncos, they had a tryout with linebacker Chris Rumpf, and they signed safety Sam Franklin. Indianapolis Colts, they re-signed tight end Mo Ali Cox. Okay, re-signed tight end Mo Ali Cox. Kansas City Chiefs signed linebacker Jack Cochran. LA Rams signed linebacker Troy Reader. This was the second linebacker they've picked up in the last 2 days. I suspect they're looking to pick up that Jihad dude from Alabama, a linebacker. But they keep picking up linebackers. So it looks less and less like the option. They might have picked an offensive lineman. They're expected to be the favorite in the NFC West this year. So they might pick an offensive lineman. They might pick a tackle to protect Matt Stafford. He needs protection. He's not very mobile. Okay? All right. Philadelphia Eagles, they signed wide receiver Terrence. It says Terrace Marshall Jr. I don't know if his name is Terrence or Terrace. But on NFL.com it said wide receiver Terrace Marshall Jr. And NFL.com is usually accurate, so I guess it's Terrace. Terrace Marshall Jr. Okay. Washington Commanders signed quarterback Josh Johnson. Okay. That's going to give them a solid backup behind Jaden. Boom. Okay. All right. Next. Looking at it, NFL 8-time Pro Bowler cornerback Patrick Peterson he's going to go and rejoin the Cardinals just for a moment, like a one-day contract to retire as an Arizona Cardinal. He's played 13 years in the NFL. 10 of those were with the Cardinals, and while he played for the Cardinals, he's a 3-time All-Pro safety. So, I mean, that's very good. Cornerback. So, I mean, all his success has been with the Cardinals. He's coming back to sign up for one day and then retire. Boom. Okay. CFL, Ottawa Red Blacks. They have defensive back for them. Ty Cranston has retired. He's gone. Retired, man. See ya. Bye. Okay. Ottawa Red Blacks. Defensive back Ty Cranston retired. 3 Down Nation had some article about quarterback Levi Mitchell saying that he's visualizing retiring after they win the Grey Cup this year. He's visualizing the Hamilton Tigers winning the Grey Cup, which would be amazing. That would be amazing. And then Bo Levi Mitchell retires and goes off to the sunset. This is the last year of his 3-year contract. Let's do it. Let's win the Grey Cup. That sounds awesome, man. Do I think they're going to do it? I don't think they're going to do it. I don't think so. I don't think they can do it. But it'd be awesome if they did. Tyler, you got anything to say about that? Let's go, Tiger Cats. Prove this guy wrong. Let's go win a Grey Cup like Bo said, and let's send him off in the sunset. Let's go, Tiger Cats. Let's go, Tiger Cats. Let's go, Tiger Cats. That's enough, Tyler. Stop it. I love the Tiger Cats. Okay, got it. BC Lions, they released American wide receiver Stacy Chukwueze. Okay. Montreal UX had American linebacker Wade Barrington retired today. Edmonton Elks signed American wide receiver Marshall Martin IV. He played at Sacramento State. He's now at Edmonton Elks. And then finally, another article I'll write tomorrow morning about the Hamilton Tiger Cats. And they signed American linebacker Jason Johnson. They need linebackers. They need to upgrade their linebacking core, okay? That's important for them. They need to upgrade that linebacker core, okay? Got it. So they have signed 6'2", 235-pound Jason Johnson, 2024, spent time with Dallas Cowboys in the NFL. He's on practice squad most likely. He played the last part of his college football career with the Central Florida Golden Knights from 2022 to 2023. He played 27 games, 136 solo tackles, 108 assists, 4.5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and 3 fumble recoveries, okay? Before he played for Central Florida, he played 3 seasons at NCAA FCS Eastern Illinois, and he played 27 games for them too. Now 133 solo tackles, 102 assists, 2.5. Very, very, very consistent numbers for Jason Johnson. He may have a chance to come out and compete for a spot. That'd be good. We'll see if that works out for the Tiger Cats. That was a quick rundown of all the business from today. We're just trying to get that in. I'm going to go back and watch this Birmingham game and see if they can pull it out. Hopefully they do, so we can be undefeated for a weekend. And the UFL, and hopefully all Oilers pulled it off in the IFL. We'll check that out in a second. But hope you enjoyed the video. It was fast-paced. It was a lot of information in a short time. I want to go watch these games, so that's what that's about. Tyler, you have any closing thoughts? Let's go Tiger Cats! Any closing thoughts, Wolfie D? Let's go Shreveport Rougarou! The NAL! Let's beat the Okay, we'll be back tomorrow with more information. We'll probably do a game review of the games tonight, the Birmingham game, and we'll talk about the Quad City, Green Bay Packers, Green Bay Blizzard, Tulsa Oilers game. It was a crazy shootout tonight. Okay, we'll talk about it tomorrow, probably in the afternoon or whatever. Okay, but have a good night. If you want to check out some UFL articles, check out UFL News Hub. Check out some CFL articles. Check out CFL News Hub. Check out my Substack. I have all my articles there. And then also, subscribe to the channel. If you like it, tell your friends to subscribe. Let's blow this thing up. Let's get crazy with the football scientific. I've had some requests from some fans that I've not gotten to yet. I've been very busy. As we get closer to May and spring football, as a coach, I get much more busy. So it's hard for me to keep this thing going, But I'm going to do my best to keep it rolling. We're going to get some stuff done. We're going to have a great time watching football and talking about football. The draft is coming up. The CFL draft is coming up. The ELF is coming up. If you like the channel, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Let's do it. Let's blow this thing up. Bah!